So to start off my makeup, I'm going to use Swiss Beauty setting spray as my primer water. Now this is a really good setting spray. Like, it keeps your makeup for a long time, but it also works as a good primer. I like to pat it down all over my face and my neck as well. Since wherever I'm wearing foundation, I like to have a good primer base, and this really holds the foundation in place. Next, I'm using this MAC concealer palette in the shade medium, and I'm using the orange corrector just under the eyes, especially where I have like darkness. I feel like the inner corners of my eyes are pretty dark, so I always like to color correct those. I'm using the Swiss Beauty concealer to just brighten up the area. Now, this I like to keep it just close to the eyes and all over the lid for like an eyeshadow base. I'm going to pat it out with this little Real Techniques brush and just make sure that everything is in place. I'm using the Inside Cosmetics their Pro Range Banana Powder, and this helps keeping the concealer in place all day. Next, I'm using the Character Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes, and I really love the eyeshadow palettes these days. There is a little bit of fallout, you can see, but then the eyeshadows blend really well, I've noticed. Now, I'm using that lighter color just as a base for my eye makeup. Next, I'm using this NYX's Jumbo pencil in white, and now I just want this white base. You can use any white base that you have. You can even use like a gel pencil, something that is easy to blendable, of course, or even just like white powder eyeshadow, something that will help you keep your base light. I'm using this Makeup Revolution's Dreamer palette. It's from their Y2K collection, and it's the star of the show, of course. It's such a beautiful palette. I was a kid during late 90s and like early 2000s, and I remember all the beautiful women that I saw on the screen wore these beautiful pastel colors like on their eyelids and their outfits. This color was always there, like especially the lilac purpley light pastel color. It was just there. I remember Aishwarya Rai in Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, where she wears this like chanya choli, like in that song Chand Chupa Hai, and she's like on the terrace with Salman Khan, and she's wearing this beautiful purple gown. That's what this color reminds me of. Or even in that movie Tal, where she's like doing this dance thing and she's wearing that beautiful purple gown. These are the colors that were like so in at that time. Next, I'm using this Y2K color. This color is called Y2K, and I'm using it on the outer V of the eye. I just wanted to give a little bit of dimension. I didn't want to keep it like, flat white purpley. I wanted to have that little bit of depth of that pretty purpley pinkiness on the outer corner of the eyes, just to give dimension. You don't have to do it. You can even stick to just like one eyeshadow. Here I'm just blending with the brush in my crease area just to have like a very nice cohesive transition. I'm adding a little bit of that previous color that I used in the inner corners as well. I'm using the Rude eyeliner in black, and now you can watch me struggle with the eyeliner. The eyeliner is not mandatory for this look. I feel you can just make it just above the eyeshadow, but I felt like I needed some definition for my eyes because I feel like I have a lot of eyelid space, so I want to fill it up in some way or the other. So also I felt like the black made a really good contrast with the light lilac purple color. I'll be taking some bioderma on the Q-tip, and I'm just going to clean out under the wing area just to have like a nice clean wing. I like to do that to make sure that both the wings also look like even and make sure there's like no fallout. I'm adding color corrector around my mouth area and around the face wherever I need color correction before I go in with my foundation and my concealer, of course. Just a little bit on the cheek area wherever I have hyperpigmentation and acne scars. I like to use a tiny bit of orange corrector. You don't have to use too much of the product. I'm using this Forever 52 foundation, and let me tell you, this foundation is like thick. It's super thick, but it still doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I don't know how is that possible. Now this foundation is pretty light for my skin when I apply it, but then it oxidizes, and then I feel it becomes like pretty good, like close to my skin. You can definitely make it work around. You can obviously have like good bronzing powder and contour to make sure that everything gets balanced out. Now here I was a little bit horrified thinking that it's a little light, but then don't worry, it does oxidize a little bit. Now I had to go ahead and cover some of the areas. It's a medium to buildable coverage foundation. It's a light coverage foundation, so I really didn't mind going ahead with like a couple of coats as well. And I'm using very little product. Honestly, it's like I think one pump was enough for like one coat, but then I had to use a second pump to just add tiny bit of more coverage to fill up my any unevenness that I might have. Now I'm adding a tiny touch on my cheek area where I feel like there is more hyperpigmentation that's more visible to the skin. Also, I know I have heard like people really love this foundation because it's like a filter on the face. I don't know if it's like a filter on the face. I like it, but I'm not crazy about it. Maybe I have to just use it a little bit more. I'm using the Swiss Beauty concealer just to highlight around the face, under the eyes, on the T-zone, just the usual high points of the face to have that nice concealer look. Now this concealer is not full coverage either. It's a medium to buildable concealer. I'm just using it because I have it. I don't want to waste it. It's not really something I love. I think my most favorite concealer is the L'Oreal concealer, the infallible one. Next, I'm using the MAC concealer palette again, and I'm going to use the darker brown shade to just contour, like a cream contour for my face. I felt like my face is looking a little bit more on the roundish side, and I felt like I wanted a little bit of more chiseled, contoured look, And I tried to contour my nose, but I feel I'm just terrible at it. I don't think in future I'll really want to contour my nose. I'm just happy with the shape of it, and you don't have to change what you don't want to change. You don't have to do it. I know many people like to put contours on the places where you don't require. Basically, contour just resides whatever that's a hair, or you just want to like reduce. I don't know how to say it, just like make sure it's not very visible. Like if you have like a larger nose, you want to slim it down. But I don't think I have a larger nose. Maybe I do when my face is slim. I don't know. But then at the same time, I feel I don't really require contour on the nose. My point is that there you go. Like once you blend it out, it's really not that visible. So I guess from next time onwards, I don't think I'll want to contour my nose. I'm just going to skip it. My apologies for ranting. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. I felt like it was a complete unnecessary step. I'm just using this brush to blend out any creases before I set them with the powder. I felt that step is really important with that concealer because it does crease a tiny bit before I set it with the powder. But this powder is really good. It contains talc and it's still really nice. Talc, as you know, is not really great for your breathing, respiratory issues because it can cause asthma. And I think there was like a study done where they found talc had um, asbestos in it, so it's not really best for your system. So yeah, I'm just setting all that all over my face. It's a good powder nevertheless. If you're on a budget, definitely go for it. I'm definitely on a budget and I definitely need to like stop buying new products, so I'm just using what I have. We seriously don't need as many products as we keep buying them, but you know what, I just dragged my foundation all over my neck and I'm just setting that with the powder. Next, I felt like I had to put my dupatta on because I was feeling cold, and then I'm using this ABH brow pomade in ebony, and this is like 4 years old, I think, and I need to buy a new brow product. And please recommend something for me in the comments down below because I really need a new brow product. I'm personally bored using this, but it's been my holy grail for the longest time. I added a little bit of concealer in the middle of my nose. Now, this is something I feel like my nose does need it. I feel like the little bit of a highlight on the bridge of the nose really helps making it look more symmetrical. Then just adding a little bit of concealer in the corner of my nose area. Now that is a place where I feel I have especially darkening. Since my skin is a little bit thin around the nose area, I feel I need a little bit of concealer to make sure there is no like visible darkness. Next, using Nykaa's Black Magic Kajal to just like tighten out the waterline and also, well, actually tight line my upper lash line and my waterline. So we are just going to go ahead and use that. I really like using kajal like this old school way. I don't know why I had like stopped using kajal for a few days back, and now I feel like I need to put kajal more. Using this color power in the inner corner of the eyes, this just opens up the eyes, especially if you have closed eye sets like mine. The closed eye set, no, set close set eyes like mine, sorry about that, then definitely just blend it into your eyeshadow on the lid, and this will just make sure that you have like light inner corners, and yeah, just adding a little bit of more symmetry to your face. I'm taking this e.l.f. liquid blush just on the apples of my cheek, actually more towards on the outer perimeter of my face, and slightly dragging it towards the apple of the cheek. I didn't exactly want to use on the apple of the cheeks because I feel I look even more rounder because of that kind of look. I prefer to have more chiseled cheekbone area and cheeks, like just to have like a higher cheek area. Using this Forever 51 blush in the shade Champagne to set that liquid blush. Now, these blushes are really good. Like their colors are unique. They're almost like the MAC blushes, but there's a little bit of a con, which not many people have mentioned in their videos. I've realized these do have a fallout. They definitely have a fallout. I decided to like powder my face underneath the contour area just to highlight, the areas that are not contoured to make sure. This is called contouring, or like anti counter contouring, or no, not anti, it's definitely counter. It's definitely the opposite of putting dark color. You put lighter shade or powder underneath your cheekbone areas to make sure that the cheekbones pop out. To set my contour, I'm using this brown eyeshadow from this Character Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, and I really like it. It's the only eyeshadow palette that contains cornstarch instead of talc, so I really should mention that because cornstarch is definitely more natural ingredient and really good for your skin and your breathing as well. Now this is definitely going to set that contour in place, and it's such a subtle beautiful contour, not only for your eyelids but also around the eye area. I'm telling you what, I'm not sponsored by Character Cosmetics, although I wish I was, but I really was impressed by their eyeshadows, and I ordered two more, and I'm definitely looking forward to make more looks with their eyeshadows. I'm using this ColourPop highlighter. I'm going to highlight this on my high points of the face, especially my cheekbones and my nose area, and a little bit on the forehead, just to have that beautiful glow from within. So I've noticed in last 3-4 years I've started using less highlighter. I don't know why. Maybe I should start using more of it, right? Going in with that Swiss Beauty setting spray again, I'm going to put that all over my face. And I should tell you guys that this doesn't smell the best. It has a little bit of like a chemically smell, which is not, very awful, but it's not pleasant or anything like that. I'm going to add a little bit of more highlighter. I feel like the highlighter shows better when your skin is slightly wet from this setting spray. I'm using this Lancome's Idole mascara. Now this is a non-waterproof mascara. I was not going to do anything special after this makeup look. I was pretty much going to like hang around with my family and maybe then later wash it off, so I didn't want to use like a waterproof mascara. My favorite waterproof mascara is the Maybelline Sensational Waterproof Mascara. This is a good mascara if you like to have like nice fluffy lashes, but you just want a comfort of taking off your makeup pretty easily. This is really good, but don't cry with this mascara on because it will run down your face. I'm adding that Y2K shade just on the outer corner of the eyes, just to pop it out a little bit. You can see the gradient, it looks really nice. Adding a little bit of that eyeliner again just to darken out the wings. I don't like it when my wings are like covered with the eyeshadow. Next, putting on my earrings on and that little bindi, which is such a Y2K, Bollywood heroine inspired kind of a look. I really like that. Using this Swiss Beauty lip liner in dark chocolate, and guys, let me tell you, Swiss Beauty does make really good lip liners. I'm very picky when it comes to my lip liners. I love lip liners, and I was pretty impressed for the price that Swiss Beauty has made some really good ones. Like I really like this color dark chocolate. It's like a dark brown with reddish hints to it. So definitely very universally flattering shade, especially for medium and dusky skin tone. I'm very much into like a darker lip liner with a light lip color in the middle. It looks fantastic. I think it's a very almost Vixen 90s, Vixen kind of a look, but at the same time with this pastel look, it looks like, like a very Bollywood, well, I don't like the word Bollywood honestly. I think like a Hindi cinema heroine. The Inside Superstay lipstick in the shade Maeve. I am so impressed of all the Indian brands. Inside has such beautiful lipsticks. Now this lipstick is not only long wearing, but it's also in that perfect medium cool tone shade. Well, it's on the lighter side. I would say it's best for like someone with lighter to medium complexion. If you're of a dusky complexion, I would say use like a darker lip liner and make it work. But you know what I like about this lipstick? It's not orange leaning nude lipstick. Most nude lipsticks that you buy in Indian market are always having that orangey peach tone, and that doesn't work with every single look. And honestly, for someone like my complexion, which is like a medium olivey complexion, orange lipstick can make you look a little bit of sallow. That is, it makes your skin tone look a little bit more yellowish, and I don't like that. It's just my personal preference that I like a neutral to cool tone nude lipsticks when they are especially this light. So that brings us to the end of the makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and do like, share and subscribe to my channel because that really motivates me to make more videos. Until then, bye.